Wow, I was just on a roll and I just realized I forgot to hit record. I have to remind myself 3 times. I should have put a Post-it note up. I got hung up on the technicalities of trying to get the live thing working. Okay, so I help women discover their true sense of self, to feel confident and trust themselves, feel peace and flow in life, break free from the things weighing them down and keeping them small and unfulfilled. And that's where I realized I forgot to record. I help them to live healthier, happier lives with themselves and their loved ones, because when we start feeling better about ourselves, it literally emanates from us. It's like a really good car deodorizer hanging from your windshield, rearview mirror. Like literally, it just permeates to everybody around us, and it's also inspiring for everybody else. I help women unleash their inner lioness. I can like save this on the Facebook video too, right? Oh, but it won't be podcast. So sad. Okay, get over it, Courtney. Peace and flow in life. So here is the thing. I want you to know that you are strong, but you are not meant to do it all alone. I know, especially us single moms, we are so used to having to do the things, all the things. And if you grew up poor, you're not paying for stuff. So you're trying to figure things out on your own. You're really scrappy. Like I remember YouTubing to learn how to change my own oil, change my own brake lines or whatever, like doing all the things. But we are not meant to do it all alone. We get so stressed and anxious and depressed, and we start to feel like failures. We tongue talk ourselves because we are taking on the world, and it's too much just for our 2 shoulders to do that. We're meant to do things together. We're communal creatures. So just like in a lion pride, they all help each other out. They're all strong badasses, but they help each other out, and together they're even stronger, and they can take on the world. Here we go. So let me explain to you what I like to call Clientville. If say your name is Kathy, we'd be in Kathyville. If your name is Mary, we're in Maryville, and I am your guide. You're at point A, you want to get to point B. You have no freaking idea why you're not getting there. And the situation is you are so used to what you see in the lay of the land that you overlook things. There are stories you've told yourself so much that you won't even see it anymore. This still, oh my God, to this day, with all this growth that I've had, I'll end up having like a memory pop up, like while I'm talking with somebody about something else, about something in the past, and all of a sudden I see it through a whole new, like the window's been cleaned off and I can finally actually see, and I'll be like, oh, I've been looking at that. So weird. I didn't realize there was more to that story, that there was more possible. So that is what we do in Clientville. I help you see yourself and your surroundings with new perspectives. I am your mirror, your magnifier, clarifier, your flashlight, whatever you need. We're just going to wander around your city, and I'm just there as your advisor, and to ask questions and be like, when we're going over something, I maybe like, whoa, let's back up. Wait, what? Or what's going on over here? Sometimes we avoid things that we really don't want to actually acknowledge, and we'll focus on something else because it's more comfortable to be over in this uncomfortable area when where the work really needs to be done is over here. So yeah, that is why I'd like to mention, I've learned this from King Ramsey, the map is not the territory. So that's where I come in handy. And by what does the map is not the territory mean? It means, okay, you have a map of, any land, any area, and you can plot out your path, right? But that map, yeah, it can give you the general idea of like distance and all that stuff. But what it can't do is let you know that a huge tree has fallen across the road, or that bad weather is coming and a storm is hitting and you're not even going to be able to see out the windshield. Like, there are so many different things that are the territory, what actually are for real happening. And I'm there to help navigate that, because I've seen these things before and I've gotten through them, and I've learned how to get through them without an assload of drama. And every time I get through it, I get a little bit better and I get a little more efficient. And then I'm able to recognize these things a little bit faster, a little bit faster. And that is my job, to help you become efficient like that, so that you don't need me. My job is to make sure you don't need me all the time. You don't need me your whole life. I'm not saying that you hire a life coach and then bam, boom, bang, you guys check off the box, you get all done, and then you're no longer needing a coach. It's just the same as laundry or dishes. Stuff piles up, you get to another level, and you need some more work. And typically we end up falling into a lot of the same patterns, but our brains get creative on what it looks like, so we don't recognize it right away. That's why it's really important to continually invest in ourselves, and seek advice, not advice, but seek others in our journey. It's so great to make sure that we're surrounding ourselves with people that are like-minded in this area. And I like to look at it as leaving the world a better place, one conversation at a time. Sometimes we're just one conversation away from just seeing things in a completely different light. And when that switch happens, it's freaking crazy, the 180s that can happen in our lives. I've seen it with clients in my life where everything felt like complete shit. And now, even though all the same things are happening, she's experienced so much more joy now. And she's actually seeing a lot of the good that's happening, and her relationships are growing and building and mending and getting stronger. And it just brings tears to my eyes whenever I get a message from her that shares another good news story from her life since she got life coaching. So how can I help? Well, we do an initial assessment. I send you this little Google form, and it covers like the 7 main areas in life. And we get a current snapshot of where you're at and how you feel about that. And it has areas for you to add in words to help me get a much better picture. Like, the more thorough you are on this thing, not only the better am I able to help you, but the better you're going to be able to see the changes down the road. I am all about transformations. So like, this is your before photo. And then we get on a call and we identify the problem. This is where your brain is taking you and it's safely spinning you around and around, making you do all of this work, yet you can't, you know whatever it is that you want, you're seeking is right there. You can almost see it, you can almost taste it, you can almost feel it, you hear it, something. But for some damn reason, it's eluding you and you have no idea what the hell, because you're doing all this work and you really, really want to get there. And I call that the hamster wheel of WTF. And what's happening there is our brain doesn't want us to do things differently because that's scary for it. So it'll keep you safely spinning on something else or in a certain step to keep you from proceeding. And we identify what the heck that is. Because once you identify it, it really throws a monkey wrench in the whole hamster wheel. Then we determine an action plan, what you're going to do and how you will know that it's working. Because what's the point of doing anything if you aren't able to see that it's working? Because if you don't know if it's working, then how do you know that you need to do something different? And then we just make sure that you are showing up for yourself. I can't do this work for you because this is your work. This is your emotional, mental, spiritual journey. And then we do evaluations and assess and adjust as necessary. And you don't have to do this as homework. The biggest homework you have is doing that assessment And then we are just talking. We're having conversations and we're working through this. And it's the consistency, showing up every week for yourself that helps to start changing the thought processes in the brain. And it becomes more and more of a habit. And you are ready. We're always ready, but you are so ready. You are ready to feel. You feel there's more for you, but you can't seem to get there. Then you're ready. If you're open to considering new perspectives and ideas, you are ready. Because trust me, you can't change if you're gonna be very persistent that this is how it is. Nope, change doesn't come from that. You want your children to have better than you had. And I ain't talking about like a nicer car or a bigger house. I'm talking about better relationships, better self-confidence, just an overall happier life, a better outlook on life. I want that for my kids. Well, you are ready if you want to feel better. That is the main thing. You want to feel better. So why do you feel hesitation? If you want to feel better, you want your kids to be, doing better than you did, and you want that thing that is just right there and it's so close, and you want to reach out and grab it, but you're feeling hesitation. Like, what the heck is that, right? Well, let me tell you, for one thing, that's just normal. That is normal brain activity to keep you safe. I talk about it a lot. And the thing is this is exciting and it's a scary thing, because you question yourself, what if I fail? Facing myself is going to be uncomfortable. Like, I don't want to do that, or I can't do it. This is new to me. There's so many things. Like, I'm embarrassed to share something with somebody else that I don't know. But let me tell you how exciting and scary are one and the same. Let me tell you about my skydiving experience. Okay. Mind you, none of this is scripted. I just threw these slides together with some general ideas. So I've grown up all my life. I'm in my 40s. I'm terrified of heights, okay? More specifically, falling from heights. I've never been extremely graceful, and falling is not something that I can fall very easily, okay? Anyways, terrified of heights. I used to always go on and on about how I would never jump out of a plane. August 17th, 2022, I did. Okay, well, actually, you see how Judy's sitting there on the plane, you're actually like that, and then you nosedive, but same idea. I nosedived out of a plane, okay, in August of last year. And it was kind of metaphorical for me in a way, because I had been afraid to do a lot of things. And the thing is once you do the jump, you can't change your mind, right? Like, you're there. And the reason I'm sharing this is because I thought that plummeting to the earth was going to be the scariest part of skydiving. Like, before the chute comes out, and I'm guaranteed that, the chute's coming out and then we can float gracefully to the ground. I thought that plummeting part was going to be the most terrifying part of the whole skydiving journey. And it wasn't. I was very anxious, building up to it. And in the plane, I was still like, whatever. It was a little bit of a plane ride, flying up to get up to the right altitude and into the right position. What was the most scariest moment was when they popped the door open. And there's the ground way below, okay? And I have to get into position. I was the first to go. Judy was the second. I was the youngest and she was the oldest in the group. A bunch of us ladies went together. And I had to position myself at 10,000 feet above the earth. And that was the most terrifying part for me, was that. And I told my instructor to make sure that I didn't punk out. So I guess like he was my coach at that time. And so he was there to help make sure that I did all the things I was supposed to do and that I got through it. And then we were out of the plane and it was like, all of a sudden I was like, oh shit, we're here. You don't even feel like you're falling. All you have is wind blasting the crap out of your face. And you can see through your squinting eyes, the earth getting closer and closer. It's still very far away, but it's getting closer and closer and closer. And you're like, well, here I am, I'm falling. But I wasn't scared anymore. What is that, right? And then the chute came out and we're floating. And it was the most amazing experience and so exciting. And when we landed, the adrenaline pumping through me was immense. I couldn't even get to sleep that night. I was still super hyped. But our bodies don't know the difference between exciting and scary. And we hesitate because we think we're scared. And it actually can be the most exciting thing in the world to do, is to just trust yourself and just go with it. Because once you're in it, you've made the decision, you've done it, and there's no more of that freaking the fuck out. You're there. Now you're just doing the damn thing and you're living in that moment. And you're finally living. So that's my little soapbox. Like I said, did not plan this out. And I just want to make sure that you understand that it is time to leave. It is time to do the thing. If you've been upset about anything, or been feeling anxious or uneasy, restless, wanting to feel better about life, it is time. So sign me up. Let's get some freedom, okay? Emotional, mental, spiritual freedom in 12 weeks. We just do that. It's so simple. We do weekly one-on-one calls for 12 weeks. If something pops up and you're not able to do a week, that's fine. We just chuck it on at the end. But you do 12 weekly calls, okay? Once a week. I know it sounds crazy. I thought it sounded crazy myself, but it seriously does a lot, okay? 1 hour, once a week. We are committing to your personal growth. You finding the tools that help you best empower yourself, find yourself, build yourself up. And then you go forth into the world with that running in the back of your head. And the next week we meet again and we talk for another hour. And I used to think 12 weeks wasn't enough. But I'm telling you, I've seen changes in 6 to 7 weeks. And then the rest of the weeks are gravy as we're helping to solidify this new way of looking at life. And it's freaking amazing. And right now, in honor of July in America, I am offering you to save $500 if you sign up in July for 12 weeks with me. I keep hitting the down button and it just doesn't do anything. Packages are $1,000. I have payment plans that are available, and we would just discuss that before. We would discuss that during a consultation. And you know what else I forgot to share? I forgot to share how to get a hold of me. But I do want to share with you that the best investment you can make is in yourself. By far, I've worried about that so many times. I would just get like a Kindle book for like $8 to $12 because it was cheap. And I would read it, you know, like for personal development. And I would get a lot of good feels. And sometimes I get a good idea that would help me, you know, take a step forward. But when I finally committed to actually signing up with a coach for a year, and I also signed up with a spiritual mentor for quite a few things. And this wasn't me just dropping 100 or something. This was me dropping quite a bit of money, and not always money. It was sometimes credit. I wouldn't take it back. I would not take any of that back because I've gotten way more out of that than most any other purchase in my life, in my four decades of life. I can't stress it enough how much it has changed for me. So that is why I am all about paying it forward, sharing this with others. And right now, you can sign up for 12 weeks for $1,000 with me. Imagine where you could be, how you would feel in just 6 to 7 of those weeks. The course will have already paid for itself. And all you have to do is get on the phone with me once a week for an hour. That's it. And I will leave how to get a hold of me. I have a consultation sign up sheet that I was going to attach the QR code on here, but I was so excited to get started. And like I said, not scripted, that I don't have it on here, but I will attach it in comments or posts or whatever, depending on what social media platform this is on. And you'll be able to get a hold of me or just message me on whatever platform this is on. And let's get this started, okay? Because it is already July 8th. So we've got the 31st minus 8 days. So I'm really looking to, I mean, if I end up filling up my calendar in July and I'm not able to take anybody for full price next month, I don't give a shit. Because what I really want is to help people. I want to help women be able to feel good, feel confident in their skin, to be able to be like, oh shit, I am on this hamster wheel. What the fuck's going on? Oh, there it is. Hop off and jump, make that leap, and be able to live life before you're too old to live it. I do not want to have regrets when I am super old and close to death. I want to experience this human life as much as I can. And so 2023 has been the biggest growth year for me. And I just want to bring people along with me. So sign up, Lioness Lifestyle, yo. And I will not know how to end this gracefully. But, oh, there it is. And I look forward to chatting to people. And listen, this isn't everybody, you know, everybody's whatever. And if you're like, maybe I do like a life coach, but I'm not interested in Courtney. Tons of life coaches out there. Just go out there and find them. Just make sure that they have your best interest at heart. Some are out there just for the money. And they might have some systems in place that are great, but make sure you're finding somebody that has the best intentions for you. I sign up with people that I know are passionate. And if I get any sense that they don't give a fuck about their clients, I'm out, because that's not what I'm about. So it doesn't have to be me, but please sign up for coaching. But it is for me, with me. Let's do this. All right, I'm going to end this so that it can get saved.